here.
Yeah, it's hopefully someday I do get that freaking model I ordered little after my birthday.
It should come eventually, Fable.
It's been
What is my
months,
Bluetooth?
years even.
Anyway, everyone, it's always good to see you. And as I say before, if you want more of these, like, comment, subscribe. If these numbers keep going and going, guess what that means? More videos for you.
Oh
And
god,
over
I
on
need to
Fable's
throw up.
channel, you can watch, if you like more Trench Crusade, you can see Fable learning about Trench Crusade.
I'm also learning about Autobots on my own because I'm gonna be honest, I remember bits and pieces of Gen 1, but I mostly remember Armada. And
What's good
Beast
about it
Wars.
is worth remembering. The new Red Alert toy is apparently pretty good.
Wait. There's a new Red Alert toy?
Yeah, he's in the first wave of Power of the Primes. Go check your local store. He's probably there.
Oh. I need to
I've
get
heard
my
he's
little...
amazing. He looks pretty good.
Oh,
I need to get my little nephew's Transformers toys for their birthdays. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, Hot Rod, the one introduced in the movie. We'll we'll go over him here in a bit, but if you want
He's
more...
Bender from the Breakfast Club.
Oh. Also, on that note, if you guys want us to watch any of the Transformers series over on the Patreon, tell us so. We would be happy to watch those, but you gotta go help us over there too if you really want that. That's one. It's $1 for just about everything in there. But yeah, we're always happy to talk about this stuff. And Chris McFeely, which I wonder if that's his real name.
I have my suspicions.
You have your suspicious, but don't be suspicious. Time for Hot Rod.
This week, it's the final basics episode of 2020, and when Christmas
Goddamn.
rolls around, I
Pipes
always
go
like to try to
chewing.
deliver on a popular request from the comments section. This
Hot
year,
Rod.
it's a big one. The original turbo-revving young punk, Hot Rod.
It really was, wasn't it?
Autobot leader, Rodimus Prime.
Rodimus Prime.
The character of Hot Rod was created for 1986's
Alright.
The Transformers the Movie.
Fish.
I'm turning it
Voiced
down
by
just a
actor
bit.
Judd Nelson, he was an impulsive young Autobot from the year 2005 who dreamed of heroism and wasn't afraid to break a few rules.
And doesn't afraid of anything.
Doesn't afraid of anything indeed.
Fun fact,
Unfortunately,
his toy was not this color.
Really?
It was supposed to be magenta. They
But now
gave
it's-
us dark red.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because he looks magenta here. Also,
They
I'm
did
not
not
sure...
change the stickers.
Huh.
So they have magenta backgrounds.
That's weird.
Ah, I see what you mean.
rashness that led him to throw himself.
Yeah, I remember this
into a
one.
showdown between him
Out of the way, Hot Rod!
and his interference wound up giving
Ah, son of a
Megatron the
bitch.
opening he needed to
Right, let's
kill
get
Optimus.
Julius.
Before dying, Prime recounted the prophecy of the Chosen One, who would
Yeah.
unlock the power
Of the
mystical
Matrix.
Autobot Matrix of Leadership. A
Mhm.
prophecy that Hot Rod then fulfilled when he used the Matrix to save Cybertron from the monster planet Unicron,
Played by Orson Welles.
being transformed and matured by
Fun
the
fact.
Matrix's power into
Hot
Rodimus
Rod has a higher firepower rating than Rodimus Prime
What?
on their
You-
stats.
Oh,
Rodimus
yeah,
Prime's firepower is 9.
Oh yeah, on the TTRPG. For those who don't know, we tried the Transformers TTRPG, and I want to create that animation for you guys. It'll just take a lot of time.
Oh,
Where we-
no, I'm talking about the original BIOS, the tech specs, dude.
Oh!
We don't have a Rodimus Prime stat block.
I didn't know that.
We only have Hot Rod, and the book just says, slap a couple levels on him, and then he's Rodimus. Cool, slap a couple weapons on him, and then do levels on him, and then do what? Rodimus Prime has different weapons.
Huh. You can
But-
tell they put a lot of care in that book.
Yeah, no, this is relevant exactly once. Because you see, there was a game for the Commodore 64 where Rodimus and Hot Rod were separate people.
I will say this. Honestly, you should just do a rant video about the TTRPGs.
I should. But and the damage they deal is based on their firepower stat, which meant Hot Rod was the best one because because his shots were one shot seekers. Rodimus has to take 2 shots.
Oh.
Prime,
Or
the
transform.
leader of the Autobots. Like most of the film's new cast
It does
members,
change
both
quite a bit when it
Rodimus
goes
and
into
Optimus
Rodimus.
were created for
a
animation
lot of people
first by
think
character designer Floro Deary, whose artwork was then
that
used
it's
as the
just Hot
basis
Rod
for
the
the
trailer.
toys. The opposite of how
Oh.
Transformers
incorrect.
characters were normally.
What'd you say?
A lot of people think it's just Hot Rod with a trailer, and this is
Yeah.
incorrect. He's taller, older looking, just different proportions. And his general vehicle mode is now a futuristic truck rather than a hot rod.
Exactly. He's more mature now,
He
basically.
hates this job. He hates it so very much.
Ah. He and I have something in common then.
Like, canonically, every time he's gotten a chance to walk away from Autobot leadership in the G1 cartoon, he took it.
That's incredibly sad.
It's a job he never wanted, and the moment he feels that there's someone better qualified to run it, or that he fucked up too bad to continue being leader, he'll go back
He
to being
is out of there.
To be fair, in his case, it kind of feels like it was kind of thrusted on him without him actually training for it or getting ready for it.
Yep.
So it made sense that he feels the way he does because he wasn't like properly trained and he was a hotshot and very crazy and reckless in the beginning, and all of a sudden because of that, Optimus sadly died, and then he had to take over, whether he
Well,
liked it or not.
He got a ton of flack back in the day for being Optimus's replacement. I like him as a character because he's genuinely different.
Yeah.
well, yeah, he's different than Optimus, but I will say, it's always Optimus is always a hard act to follow because he's literally someone who understands the weight of leadership and took it on himself. Hot
Also,
Rod
he
was
was the
forced on.
surrogate dad to a generation of latchkey kids.
Yeah,
And then they watched that dad gunned down before them.
honestly, he was very good at being robot dad.
He was.
Truck dad died on a slab.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Created
Shout
at
out to
the
that
time, as the
god
toys
awful
usually
comic
came first.
Deviations.
Hot Rod transformed into a futuristic sports car, while Rodimus was a
Just
futuristic
the writer
truck
killing
with
off
a
every
trailer
season
that
3
opened
character
into a battle
in the
station.
timeline where Optimus
However,
lives.
a combination of the character designs being further modified after production of the toy.
yeah, you can tell that it's
and
red and
Hasbro
magenta
decided
on
to
the
make some
sides.
Changes to the colors meant that the figures looked rather different to the character's appearance in animation.
Yep.
Mainly, the toys were
Yeah.
both just red, while in the cartoon, Hot Rod was magenta
They were
and
based on
Rodimus
prototypes.
was maroon.
Mm-hmm.
After the movie, the third season of the Transformers animated series followed Rodimus Prime, now voiced by actor Dick Gautier, as he struggled in his new position as leader. Though a brave commander with a deadpan sense of humor, at times he was overwhelmed by the weight of his responsibility.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Self-doubt, believing he could never live up to Optimus Prime's example.
I don't think I've got what it takes to be our leader. Maybe it's time I turned over the reins to someone
Rodimus
else.
blew up a planet.
At
What?
times, he became separated from the Matrix.
That Aerodron
while
ain't there
his
anymore.
power would turn back into Hot Rod. He
That's-
was rarely
huh.
unhappy about the change, but destiny would always demand that he assume the mantle of leadership once again.
Oh.
Sadly, the viewing audience of
Yeah.
kids also struggled to accept Rodimus as leader. They weren't happy that Optimus Prime
Yeah.
pulled off, and their angry
He's better than
leaders soon
Lieutenant
forced
Falcon.
Hasbro to wa-
Who?
Duke's half brother.
Oh yeah, that was a thing where they tried to kill off Duke in the movie as well.
And then they backed down, and they never got a third Sunbow season, so Duke was just leader again. And when during the second anime, second show,
Well, you know exactly why they tried to keep him alive. They were scared
Yeah.
of the backlash again from what happened with Optimus.
they didn't work hard to keep him alive. They just said, "Oh, he's in a coma."
Yeah, they
After
just
he was
basically
killed from
rewrote
the heart
certain parts of the movie and
by a
added in.
snake.
They added in like little bits so that he could technically be alive off screen.
They did not change the animation at the end. Lieutenant Falcon still looking out over the sea. He hoping Duke would be proud of him as a fucking giant visage of Duke appears in the sky.
Yeah, and also someone yells, "And Duke will be okay."
Anyway, I do love that this has canonically led to future incarnations of Duke being damn near unkillable.
I've survived worse than you.
Like, the Skybound version has survived a crashed F-15, headbutting Destro, getting the crap beaten out of him by a robot that he then beat the crap out of in turn. Then the building exploded. Dueling Cobra Commander with swords in the... Well, no, he didn't have a sword. Shooting himself when he tried to headshot Cobra Commander. Getting slashed by his saber. Generally got the crap beat out of him. Several near misses, still enough to singe him with an energon laser.
Oh.
Walk back the decision. In the third season finale, Optimus
Ah,
was
yes.
resurrected and reclaimed the Matrix, allowing Rodimus to return to his carefree life as Hot Rod. In 1987, Hot Rod's toy was re-released as a
Oh.
Target Master, a
I
kind
see.
of transformer who came with a partner minifigure that transformed into a gun for them to wield. Hot
Ah,
Rod's
these
partner
ones.
was Firebolt, an alien scientist from the planet Nebulos.
Nebulos.
The story
There was
of how
never a
Hot
good
Rod
explanation
became
for
a Target
this.
Master was told in the animated series finale, The Rebirth, in which
Like,
a group of Autobots
oh.
were blasted across the universe to Nebulos, where they joined forces with Nebulan rebels.
The show was just, oh, that we have experience that you don't, and you're more efficient in vehicle mode with an operator. Okay, the 4 million-year-old war veterans don't have experience in fighting. Carry on. Fucking Marvel just went full balls to the wall. Stupid. Stupid. Fortress Maximus tried to surrender, and, well, but the Council of World Watchers weren't certain if just laying down their arms would be enough, so Fortress Maximus also surrendered his head, and several of his troops did the same. And the treaty indicated that their weapons and heads could never be returned to them.
What?
So when the Decepticons came knocking, they just decided, fuck it, we'll make new heads. We'll make new weapons. This skirts the treaty. Well, this violates the entire spirit of the treaty, but by God, we're going to do, well, it doesn't violate the wording.
It violates the laws of physics. Anyway.
Yeah, it's...
However,
we were watching through, for those who don't know, we've been watching through a bit of the Headmasters. It's silly.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the anime. I was talking about the Marvel miniseries, The Headmasters.
Oh. Either way, it's still funny. I just remember, want me to give you an idea of one of the scenes, Fable?
I think the anime actually does explain the Target Masters half decently.
There's one part where I think it was Soundwave shoots at Ultra Magnus and he says, "This is my battle style." And then Ultra Magnus shoots him and says, "Well, this is my style." And I'm like, what the hell is happening?
It was Six Shot, which makes it funnier because he's supposed to be a goddamn ninja in Japan.
Yeah.
Ancient ninjutsu art of laser gun!
Hasbro's Japanese partner, Takara, opted not to release the Target Master Hot Rod figure in their markets.
Really?
Or to air the Rebirth in Japan. Instead, a Japanese original sequel series.
Oh yeah, this.
Transformers,
we were watching
the
it.
Headmasters, in which Takara reversed Hasbro's reversal by killing Optimus Prime again and turning Hot Rod.
I'm imagining
back
several
into Rodimus
reversals in
Prime.
wrestling
But
terms.
he was still phased out of the show early
I think of it as more of
Cybertron
comics,
was devastated
retcons.
by a Decepticon bombing. Rodimus departed on a quest with Cup and Blur to search for a new planet the Transformers could call home, leaving command of the Autobots to Fortress Maximus.
The new guy.
Takara would
Retroactively,
a few
what he
years
founded was the
later
planet
as
of
part of
Zone.
the Japanese exclusive Return of Convoy toy line in 1991.
Return of
which
Convoy.
time he had reverted into Hot Rod once more and become a tiny Micromaster.
Right. This was the body they used for Beast Wars Uprising, where he's
also appeared in the
Suzaku.
Marvel comic published in the United Kingdom, which
He
also
looked at
based his appearance on
an
Halo
oppressive
Tajiri's
system and
early
thought I could change him.
Oh then.
designs. This series featured original stories set in the future.
Bring me the head of Galvatron.
Continuing on from
Galvatron.
I just like the Transformers. Rodimus Prime speaks out. Bring me the head of Galvatron.
And then Death's Head took up that bounty.
Oh yeah, Death's Head is a character you should look at, Fable. Just type it in for this, because he's silly. He's a Marvel character.
Oh, wow.
Every time he speaks, he ends it with the word by saying, yes? And a question with a question mark.
It's not always, but consistently.
Yes.
connected to the cartoon, which chronicled more of Rodimus's struggles with the burden of leadership as he fought to protect both the past and the future from the time-traveling Galvatron. In this continuity, though, Optimus wouldn't return to retake the land, and Rodimus's story ended on a bleak note, stranded in an alternate timeline, his withered body fighting to keep the evil spirit of Unicron from possessing him.
Oh dear God.
It wasn't
Yeah.
until the release of his
Yeah, in the future
masterpiece
timeline,
that Hot Rod joined.
and the canon was basically, oh yeah, Unicron is actually, well, when the Matrix was unleashed inside him, it trapped his spirit in the Matrix,
Oh, that's not good.
and also apparently the Matrix inside him kills him, but him inside the Matrix makes him stronger.
That doesn't make any sense.
Shut up, he's possessing Hot Rod.
Anyway, I see there's a symbol of Spider-Man down there in his Secret Wars outfit.
The cast of the
Yeah, that
comic.
basically that was how. Well, even back in the day, you could still subscribe to comic books, and if they were just sending them to you, you got the Spider-Man print on it.
Huh.
Otherwise, that box was blank.
In which his younger, present-day self appeared among a crew of Autobots who relocated to Nebulos in an effort to escape the war.
Alright.
Though he was never a major character in this series, he would make regular appearances in the comic even after his toy was discontinued in 1988, and he also featured in its sequels, 1993's Generation 2 and 2013's Regeneration 1.
Regeneration
was big for him.
For much of the 20th
Really?
century, Hot Rods occupied a curious position.
Okay, so of course, that is some sick ass art.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Okay, so Regeneration 1 is basically 4 arcs of everything going wrong 20 years later.
Oh.
Basically, first off, someone woke up Megatron, and he's basically taken over the Earth, has been pot-shotting messages into space for the last 20 years, telling Prime to get over here and fight him.
Oh my God.
He enforces his will with an army of lobotomized Cybertronians who are in the Ark's repair bay. Except Starscream, who he mostly lobotomized. He has just enough of his mind left to know his state.
It's horrifying.
Yes, it's fucked up. It's incredibly like he has basically ended the world. Humanity's still alive, but they're not doing well. So yeah, no, 5 issues of taking the fight to Megatron, 5 issues of Scorponok revealing that his head was alive on Nebulos, us returning and seizing control of the planet with the gene key. 5 issues of dealing with Geaxis, who has returned and intent on bringing Cybertron into his grand and empire, which doesn't end well for him since since he was supposed to contribute his mind to the underbase. And the underbase is still well and alive in Starscream, and they want their missing member.
Oh, well then.
Yeah, now while this is happening, the demons are doing a thing underground, and Hot Rod goes to investigate, finding the shell of Primus, as he's canonically dead in the Marvel timeline.
Oh.
Yeah, Unicron killed Primus.
Oh no.
But something's still there masquerading as him, who offers Hot Rod a sword to strike down his enemies. Hot Rod instead chooses knowledge to which sees several alternate realities as well as parts of this timeline, and as well as the greater multiverse. He sees all the Hot Rods, all the Rodimuses, a couple Hot Shots.
A couple hot shots.
Manifesting in the middle of Bludgeon's assault on Cybertron, because Bludgeon foresaw, basically bullshit the sound wave of, oh yes, I have an infinite, unstoppable war machine that we can use to seize Cybertron. And he did, but he also foresaw that he'd die if he did this. And Bludgeon wanted his honorable death in combat.
So he literally just did this to set it up so that someone could kill him in an honorable duel.
At which point, Rodimus Prime manifested on the bridge of his war world.
He had Warworld?
Not the one from DC. The war world in Transformers is basically a mobile mass of weapons and technology.
Holy crap.
OG built by stealing from as many different worlds as they can.
What that?
Bludgeon built one in G2, and it's just kind of stuck around. And yeah, no, Rodimus beat the crap out of him, threw him out the window, watched him go undergo atmospheric reentry, and then denied him his heroic death when they found him.
Sounds about right.
You're going to prison, motherfucker. Galvatron woke up, and Magnus managed to kill him. And then all of this culminated in the reveal of what was masquerading as Primus, the Dark Matrix creature. Basically, in Marvel, the Matrix got corrupted. It tasted death, it tasted destruction, and it wanted to taste more.
Oh
While
boy.
Prime purified most of the Matrix, a sliver still remained corrupted. And that sliver is the only remaining part of the Matrix. It's grown as far as it can, it's influenced everything it could. It needs to expand into the multiverse. Culminating in a showdown between it and Hot Rod in Zero Space, trying to escape into the wider multiverse. First, it also summons 3 versions of Prime from this timeline to beat the crap out of him. And then Rodimus is backed up by every other Rodimus. It's one of my favorite fucking panels. Just a massive army, IDW, Rodimus front and center. He called. We answered. Rodimus may seal this world off from the greater multiverse and the Cybertronian species. Their lifespan becomes mortal. But the multiverse is saved.
Interesting.
Rodimus is the last to return to his world to die, ushering in the Beast era to begin.
Huh. Well, I'll be honest, that part where he summons different versions of himself to help him fight reminds me of the part of Batman the Brave and the Bold where he's fighting Owlman, who has assembled a bunch of evil villains to help him, and he says, well, yes, see, I used a teleportation device, and that meant I went to a week. I got an entire week to gather people, and in that time, I really got to know me, myself, and he reveals like a bunch of different versions of him.
Yeah, let me find the fucking panel, because it's really good.
Okay.
I think Regeneration 1 is bleak, but I really like this part.
The stigma of being a failed attempt by Hasbro to replace Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Fans have often blamed the character for getting Prime killed in the first place.
I mean, he did kinda.
His fault.
Let me grab the thing. Yeah, I put it on screen. We answered. That is a lot of different ones, yeah. You're typing at light speed.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's no denying that he's one of the brand's most significant legacy characters.
Definitely. He's the only one to ascended to the rank of Prime.
Have been released over the years. Unfortunately,
except for that stigma who's Rodimus Major.
The name Hot Rod,
Like,
which
it always starts with Optimus. He's the one that ascends to Prime, usually because of the obvious.
A gem containing the ultimate power.
Oh my god.
Meant that for a good 15 years or so, his toys had to be called something else.
Oh.
It's been Rodimus Major, Rodimus Minor, and most often, just plain old Rodimus. Now, we don't know if it was because of this problem, but new Transformers...
Oh yeah, he does have... Hot Shot does have the colors of...
...tended not to feature Hot Rod,
him.
and instead gave his classic role as the archetypal, impetuous young hero destined for greatness to other characters, like Bumblebee, Smokescreen, and most notably...
Nowadays, he tends to be a... somewhat of an equal Optimus. Maybe not that far up, but like...
He's definitely like...
more skilled. Like, Energon Rodimus is the one that always comes to mind for me.
He's usually like a lieutenant.
Like Hot Rod, that at times he sported designs and...
Yeah, he literally had the... when he got an Energon power-up.
A few instances where Hot Rod did appear on TV, he was already a mature commander, using the name Rodimus, rather than a hot-headed youngster.
Yeah.
Such was the case with the first new incarnation of the character to be introduced, in 2004's Transformers Energon. This
I don't
Rodimus was a great
I don't
Autobot
remember this
hero
one.
who long ago left Cybertron with a legion of followers, abandoning the war to seek a new future elsewhere. On his travels, Rodimus encountered the alien Alpha Quintesson, whose homeworld was consumed by Unicron,
Not the
and he vowed to help him
Quintessons.
co-opt Unicron's
Oh,
power
it's
to
a
bring his
Quintesson.
planet back to life.
Still
This
not
mission
bad.
initially brought Rodimus into
Alpha
conflict with
Q.
Optimus Prime, who was determined to destroy Unicron. But the two commanders eventually came to an understanding and worked together to help restore all that Unicron had destroyed.
What's so funny?
The fact that that they actually named a character Alpha Q.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Hey,
Early plans
it's
for
Fable.
Yeah.
Alpha Q.
Oh my god. Get out of here.
2007's
They didn't
Transformers.
even sell the toy under that name because
I do remember this character. I didn't watch a lot of animated, but like I said, I had a few bits, and I do remember Rodimus showing up there.
Animated also cast Rodimus in the role of a rival
he was
for
in one
Optimus
episode.
Prime, but in the
Yeah, I
fiction
do.
series,
I remember that one
he
bit.
played by Sentinel Prime instead, and Rodimus appeared only briefly in the show.
Yeah, he's defending the space
in
bridge.
2009 as the leader of the Autobots Team Athenia, defending a space bridge against
I don't
a
remember why I remember this. Oh, I don't remember that.
infection of cosmic rust. Though his time on the series was short,
I don't remember
it did
that.
see Judd Nelson return to reprise
Oh, really?
for the first time.
Yeah.
While
Anime
Hot
got
Rod's
as many
animated
veteran
appearances
actors as
were
they could.
limited, he did also pop up in other
I-
games like video games.
I do not like his War for Cybertron design.
This one in the middle? Yeah, it don't look great.
It's too layered.
Yeah, I just don't like the amount of like V's on his chest. That doesn't. It's
That's what I said.
too detailed.
Games and prose, but it was in comic books where he really enjoyed the spotlight.
All right.
Both as Hot Rod and as Rodimus, he appeared in stories from companies like Dreamwave Productions and official convention BotCon, who memorably introduced an evil Mirror Universe version of the character in
Oh.
their Shattered Glass series in 2008. But mainly,
Oh.
there were IDW Publishing
Ah,
spin-offs, which debuted
okay.
Hot Rod in his own Spotlight one-shot in 2006, and went on to feature him as a major character in their various series for over a
Indeed.
decade.
Nice.
IDW's Hot Rod was the original turned up to 11, an inspiring, charismatic daredevil who actually wanted to be a leader, but whose short-sighted, ego-driven recklessness was his own biggest obstacle to success. Notable storylines saw Hot Rod compete with Bumblebee for command of the Autobots after Optimus Prime stepped down, and after changing his name to Rodimus. In the 2012 series More Than Meets the Eye, he became captain of the starship Lost Light,
Ooh.
led its crew on a quirky quest for the legendary promised land of Cyber-Utopia.
Cyber-Utopia.
It was in the
Yep.
late 2010s that Hot Rod finally began to make a big return to prominence outside comics, after Hasbro at last secured his name for use on toys again. One
Ah,
of the first modern figures to sport the
Ooh,
classic name
these
was
ones look
released
good.
in 2016's Titans Return toy line, with another following in the 2018 sequel
Power of the
series
Primes is
Power
okay.
of the Primes, which could
Hmm.
combine with its
I
trailer
have it.
to
It's a
become
bit chunky. And the foil stickers just don't really stick well.
Damn.
It's okay. I
Optimus
think it's the
Prime.
best use of the leader class as power up gimmick that they had in the line. Because like Orion Pax to Optimus Prime never looked right to me.
Oh yeah. They don't just
Optimus Primal to Optimal Optimus also never gelled quite right.
Well, but mainly because these are transformations that are supposed to be one way. They're not supposed to be transforming back or just combining into something.
Well,
They
I mean,
are.
the issue for me is visually Prime combined with his trailer to form a normal looking Optimus Prime just doesn't sit right.
Hmm.
Primal, he turns into a fucking square. He turned into a rectangle with a cockpit because more than anything else, he's an accessory to Optimal. Rodimus, on the other hand, I know I said Rodimus's vehicle mode is very different than a lot of people think, but like they still took advantage of that similarity in a way that I think works well.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, they even store the Matrix in the trailer rather than the core body.
That actually makes more sense.
These toys earned Hot Rod a role in Machinima's tie-in Prime Wars
It looks good here, at least.
series, for which Judd Nelson once again
Wait,
returned
what's
to
with his
voice
face?
This Generation
I'll
1
play it.
themed series was
Oh.
set on a post-war Cybertron, ruled by a council that included Rodimus Prime. But after he was tricked
Alright.
into letting Starscream get his hands on the all-powerful Enigma of
God,
Combination,
Wars
the
sucked.
ashamed Rodimus decided
Okay.
to relinquish the
I'm surprised anyone would let him near that.
Hot Rod, only to then
thing,
be
we have no
temporarily
build-up or lead-up
possessed
for
by
why they
Unicron
trust him.
and transformed.
I still don't know why anyone would trust Starscream with anything. Well, oh, he's even got the beard.
Oh no,
That's
it's
because he
just
put the Shattered Glass. His toy design, which I also have one of those up here, is based on Shattered Glass Rodimus.
yeah. I was about to say that's the shattered glass version of Rodimus.
Okay.
So the backstory they used was always corrupted by Unicron, except in Earth Wars, where oh no, he was introduced in the Prime Core saga, where the Soulless Prime Core made him into from Hot Rod to Rodimus. The Megatronus Core turned him into this.
Are you showing me something? Oh,
And then he spent the entire arc running around as a third faction, beating the crap out of everyone.
oh, I mean, it is Unicron, but yeah, that sounds a little.
Before unleashing his soul into Cybertron itself, and he's the reason Groove will never join the game, because canonically Groove is dead. Unicron ate him.
Oh,
The ground opened up and Unicron ate him.
huh. Well then,
So they awoke Metroplex and Tripticon to beat the crap out of the planet.
I'm not that surprised about that. Anyway. What I was about to say is, whenever we do our comic, I do want to do like a shattered glass version, like for any of my cards, because it's just so interesting with what you can do with the idea of an evil version or a nice version of the making the complete opposite. Because you can actually go in that in several different ways. You can just go straight up, they're the exact same person, but their morality is switched. You can go they're completely opposite in profession, thought process, and whatnot. Or you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yes. I see you see, I see.
What do you
Give
think, Fable?
Give everyone beards.
Everyone doesn't need beards, Fable.
It's the shattered glass dimension.
Dwarf dimension.
They need beards. That is what it's referencing. It's referencing Star Trek of all things.
God.
Our
The
evil
Miss
counterparts need
Unicronus,
goatees.
a recolor of the Power of the Primes toy, based on BotCon's Shattered Glass version.
Honestly, it looks pretty good.
Hot Rod also made his live-action debut.
Oh, that one doesn't look good.
2017's The Last Night. Though this version of the
Yeah.
was an unusual
His toy was just a
one,
retool of
lacking the
Lockdown.
characteristic flame
I'm not
details and
surprised.
color scheme shared by
And also the
all
joke was
others.
he has a French
Instead,
accent and he hates it.
transformed into a
What? Why would he have a French accent?
And he likes the voice. No, I hate the voice. I cannot change it. And also his gun just shoots slowed time bubbles.
Why?
I
Okay.
don't fucking know. Why'd you wait for the fifth
black
movie
and
before you start putting in
orange
esoteric
Lamborghini
effects?
Centenario. He was
I don't know.
brothers in arms with Bumblebee.
Like, this is a
wielded
franchise that
gun
already had
could
friction
slow
rifles.
The flow of time, and
Yeah.
had a French
I
accent.
love friction rifles.
Is he French?
No, he just likes the accent.
No. I hate the accent. But I can get rid of it.
How?
Most recently, Hot Rod's enjoyed
Also, he just looks like Bumblebee.
2018's Transformers Cyberverse, which took
Oh,
him back to his roots.
the kibble is weird on this one.
Who palled around with fellow legacy Kid Appeal characters Bumblebee and Cheetor.
Honestly, that sounds kind of cool for an adventure.
But destiny called when the Quintessons invaded Cybertron, and Hot Rod, now sporting a new black paint job after a dunk in some toxic energon waste, was forced to step up and become leader of an underground Autobot Decepticon resistance.
That actually
Fought
sounds
back
pretty cool.
against the aliens. With a new figure on the way in 2021 as part of the Studio Series toy line to celebrate
Ooh.
the 35th anniversary of his first appearance, it feels like Hot Rod is definitely back to the big time after years away.
Definitely.
He's a bot who's always believed that actions speak louder than words, And hopefully, he's still got many more years of action ahead of him.
Action.
And those are the basic.
Action, man. Action, action, action. Anyway. So, what are all
Not
your
today,
thoughts on
Wolfie. Not
thought of
today.
Oh my god. What are all your thoughts on Rodimus Prime or Hot Rod?
I think he
I
gets a
th-
bad rap. Oh my god, bug bite, bug bite, bug bite.
what you want to do Bug Bite?
Yes.
Oh my god. I guess we'll do Bug Bite next, you guys see? So thank you all so much for coming by. What do you guys think of Hot Rod? What else do you want us to watch?
I think it's interesting. However, it's kind of but
I feel
But
like he could be used better. The issue is they would never dare put him in the main character position again outside of that one time Cyberverse did it. But that was
well,
very
there,
temporary.
well, they can if they're doing an offshoot where Optimus isn't dead. But I definitely know Hasbro is scared of basically letting him be the cause to Optimus' death again. Which, yeah, understandable considering how much mail they got.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you all so much. And wow, this video is long now. We are twice the size of that video.
Excellent.
Thank you all so
not
much. See you
always
later.
good. No.